The Golf Biz with Mikey D, Drew, and the crew. Management, marketing, myths, and morons. Hope we make you smile.
Welcome to the Golf Biz. I'm Joe Dahlstrom with Mikey D, Drew, and the crew, where our one and only goal is to make you smile as we share our story of owning, managing, and marketing golf courses all over the country. Welcome, Drew.
Hey, what's going on, Joe? Mikey,
Merry
how
Christmas.
are you?
Happy holidays. Mikey, how you doing out there in sunny Florida?
Gentlemen, another beautiful day. It is, sun is shining, balls are flying.
Absolutely.
Music is definitely playing.
This is going to be a great episode. Episode 11. It's the golf business's most boneheaded buzzwords and dumbest policies. And this episode is going to be 9 hours long, so everybody just pack a lunch. We got a lot to talk about.
Man.
No, just kidding. But let's start birdies and bogeys. Drew, why don't you tee it up first?
Yeah, so bogeys this week. We've been real fortunate this year. No rain. Last year was really wet, almost unseasonably wet, but we've had a lot of frost. I think we had frost every single day this week until today. We broke the streak. So hopefully some clouds stick around this weekend and we can end it on a high note. As far as birdies though, I'm getting there. My golf game's getting close. I spent a little time chipping last night with Joe, and I am officially ready to knock 15 strokes off my 120 stroke score.
Absolutely. Drew actually has a pretty good touch, pretty smooth around the green. What about you, Mikey? Birdies and bogeys.
Birdie of the week. Didn't have one until just now on the way over here, actually, to my, I guess you call this a quasi-office. But so I'm on my way back. Guy's playing with his son from New Jersey, private club player, and he says, "Hey, man, this place is like awesome, dude. It's like a carnival here. This is so cool." And I was like, did you really just use carnival? He's like, yeah. I was like, bro, that is awesome, man. That's exactly what we're going for. So anyway, hit that dead on. I didn't know if he thought I was offended or not, but I was definitely excited. Birdie of the week.
Absolutely. Well, and after that, Mike shared that story right before he came on the air, and we're now selling cotton candy and corn dogs out of the food trailer at PBN.
Churros, bro.
Oh, churros. And everybody thinks I'm kidding. I'm not. He actually did. Did Drew confirm?
He just talked about how amazing it's going to be, and he's already tried them.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, man. So my birdie is that it's almost Christmas. I love it this time of year. It's really a wonderful time. My bogey is that I asked my 8-year-old 2 nights ago what she wanted for Christmas. She told me a bunch of stuff. One was that she wanted a little sister or brother. Had to break it to her that that's definitely not happening. But the real bogey is she asked me what I wanted. I said, hey, a full head of hair, maybe like Bradley Cooper. And my 8-year-old said, well, maybe Santa can just get you a hat, Dad. So that hurt a little bit. But
that's awesome.
anyway,
Oh, man. She's been hanging around with Pops too much, She's got the jabs.
She does have the jab, but I'll say it again. At least I got a hot wife, right? I got that going for him. I also say that a lot on the show because I wonder if Amy's listening.
Yeah.
She would comment if she was listening, and she hasn't mentioned it, so not so sure she's listening to it, and which is kind of hurtful. She's not only in the golf business, she's also my wife. You know? Geez, so if she's not listening, I don't know. Maybe nobody else is either.
It's all right.
I don't know.
We're cool enough in our own hearts.
Exactly. We are cool. But anyway, so episode 11, the golf business's most boneheaded buzzwords and dumbest policies. So, buzzwords, what we're referring to here is like words that people use to maybe sound a little smarter than they are.
Yeah.
Buzzwords. And, in the golf business, I think they actually adapt the words and after they trickle through all the other industries, whether it's the airline industry, the hotel industry, even the car industry, the technology world. And then it kind of finds its place in the golf business. And then you have a bunch of golf geeks that actually try to use the words with no understanding of really what they mean, much less how to execute them. So
Definitely. No, I mean, the golf business, it is stuck in the Stone Age. That is 100% for sure. And I just want to be clear with everybody that's listening too. When we say dumbest policies, it's not because like we're so smart and what we do is way better. It's dumb because it's archaic. It doesn't make sense.
No doubt.
And it's outdated.
I use buzzwords too.
Yeah.
And I don't know what some of them mean. When I want to like woo somebody, I'll bust out a couple. Yeah. Right, Mikey? You've used some buzzwords in your day, haven't you?
I've been there. I've witnessed it, and I kind of looked at you and asked you later, like, where in the hell did you get that one?
Mikey's a walking BuzzFeed headline, you know?
Yeah. His buzzwords actually have a little different connotation, though. His are really just don't make any sense and don't exist.
No.
Right? They're all OGs. All Mikey's words are.
And I'm excited for it because it's going to be a fan favorite. You mark my words when we get Mikey's translations going in here.
Oh, yeah.
Mikey.
Absolutely.
Stacks on stacks.
Stacks on stacks. Hey, so let's start with the buzzwords, the boneheaded buzzwords. You know what? These two go together, and it really makes me laugh because, you know, the golf business always had like static rates, and they were always priced based on what the head golf professional or the owner thought the golf course was worth. And then airlines and hotels did yield management and dynamic pricing. So, you know, the golf course industry tried to adapt to it, right? Mm-hmm. And I think that we were some of the first to do it, you know, way back in the day, and we call it promotional based pricing, but that's a whole nother episode. We're here to talk about it. So let's talk about dynamic pricing in the golf world. I mean, everybody talks about it. I don't think anybody knows what it means.
Yeah. I don't think anybody really does either. And I think that the companies that offer the programs to do dynamic pricing really don't get it either, which is kind of funny because I've had this conversation countless of times. I just had one of them before we came on the air, and you know, I get it, and it's something that they have to offer. It's a service, and a lot of golf courses like it. And what this service is, basically, they've got an algorithm that looks, and you can set it up with certain things, but basically it'll scale your prices off of utilization. So if people are booking, it makes it more expensive. If people aren't, it makes it less expensive. And it also manipulates what it says your rate normally is, and then it gives you a separate online rate just so you can say that it's 80% off, but like no one's ever actually bought a round for $300.
Yeah.
So those things just don't really work. I mean, they work a little bit, I guess, but it's just not as effective as going off of your gut.
Absolutely. It is more of an art than science. And Mikey, so what do you think about the word just dynamic as a whole in the golf business?
Yeah, I'm not so sure anything in the golf business is necessarily dynamic, but to count on an algorithm or a matrix to actually do your promotional based pricing is a bit ridiculous.
Yeah,
when it's way better off as just you doing it, and it takes minutes.
Well,
but not so dynamic, really. I mean, it's a supply-demand thing, right?
Yeah, well, and what you said is exactly the main point, Mikey, is it takes you 3 minutes to go on, click a couple rates, change some prices, see if that rate works. But these algorithms take hours to even sweep your whole tee sheet. It goes through your entire booking window, which for us is 14 days. That's a lot of tee times at a lot of different rates. And, you know, obviously the day that just opened up, 14 days out, doesn't have anybody booked, it's going to see there's nothing there, and it's going to drop them all low. And then everybody's going to pile in when the rate's low before it can sweep again and update, and you're just behind the 8 ball. It's better off doing it on your own.
It does. You have to actually pay attention. And, you know, dynamic pricing it's really not just, the episode's not about that, but I just want to talk about the word dynamic, right?
Yeah.
So you signing up with a program, the algorithm, or even trying to do it yourself and actually telling everybody we use dynamic pricing. Well, there's nothing dynamic about it unless there's really thought, strategy, passion, and understanding behind it.
For sure.
Just going to say, our rates are this, and then go up or down based on this. There's nothing dynamic. There's no real thought on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they sweep it over 7 days, right? Because maybe Tuesdays are really busy and there's less inventory because you pre-sell to a league, right? But the demand isn't necessarily higher either and then it fluctuates too high. And here's where it's not dynamic, right? So they use the algorithm, which, hey, maybe it's better than doing nothing, right? But it goes high. Nobody pays attention to it, and it rots week in and week out, day after day. It just rots. That's not dynamic.
No.
Dynamic means you shift, you move, you watch, you do things that are cool, and maybe you do cool videos, you do cool marketing to move that inventory, right?
Yeah.
So I think just the word dynamic is the hilarious part. Nothing dynamic about it.
For sure. And what do you think, guys, about when their golf courses, they claim they've got dynamic pricing, and it's really just that, like, at 1 p.m. they have a PM rate, and then at 4 o'clock they have a twilight rate.
Yeah.
Like, how does that make you feel, Mikey? Are they as dynamic as you?
Well, here's an OG for you because Joey came up with this. How do you actually evaluate what your golf course is worth, right? And Joey had it. Every hour you throw in a tickler, right? And then you throw in a tickler worth a little higher, and then you keep the rest a little high. You see how fast it moves. If it moves quick, then you know you can bump it up a little bit. But dude, the OG Joey, the tickler rate.
Yeah, you got to tickle it, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't know. Because people just, and we'll go on to the next words too. Yield management. This is something that is huge in the hotel industry and the airline industry. And I can tell you this: they're not the same industries, right? They are not, right? Everybody needs to go from point A to point B. There's so many airlines that fly. Only certain ones fly nonstop, so which actually gives them a huge advantage, right? We have golf courses, on every corner in a lot of our markets that we're in, and it's harder to separate your property. It's harder to go ahead and actually find it. There's a small. Nobody needs to go. People need to fly to go to work or whatever they want to do, and hotels they need to stay somewhere, right? So there's a lot less factors, I think, in those things, right? So the golf part of it, you have to go ahead and actually look at way different factors than those businesses, and they don't. So the yield management part of it is that they see what's bought and then they actually either increase the yield or lower the yield, right? It goes back to nobody's really paying attention to it, right? So don't actually, when you're sitting around a table, so yeah, we use yield management. I've asked some of these guys what that means, and they turn into Porky Pig. You know what I mean? Yielding your rates is not tiered pricing. That's what you were talking about, Drew, right?
Yeah.
That's where you pick like certain time breaks, right? And you let it rot. Right? Yeah. That's the difference. There's nothing dynamic, and you're not yielding if you just pick rates and you let them sit there and you walk in and the manager of the golf course says, we're not very busy today. Gosh, nobody sold. We didn't sell many tee times, right? That's not dynamic. It's not yielding.
Right. Well, and I think the most unhealthy part of that thought process is that a lot of places, when they don't sell it and it rots there, they still think that they can, they value that time at that high. And it's like Mikey was talking about, it's obviously not worth that because nobody scooped it up. So you should do something and find out what it is worth.
Yeah.
Throw it out there for $20, then try 25, then try 36. Who knows?
That is yielding.
Yeah.
That's right.
So when it comes to dynamic or yielding, pay attention. Do something dynamic, yield it up and down, tickle it, go around, and then actually master it and be good at it. Don't actually say, we do it. Use the buzzword and let your inventory rot. Or on the reverse, they actually say, I have people that say, God, our golf course sold out in 5 minutes. Then increase the price. Be dynamic.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Increase it or yield it. Either way. Use either buzzword you want. Choose one. Flip a coin. I don't care. Just change it.
Just do something.
Exactly. And when it comes to pricing, our basic philosophy, another OG, is that we price our product regardless of what medium they're coming through, whether it's over the phone, whether it's through the internet, whether it's through a promotion, is what is that customer most willing, or what are they willing and able to pay, right?
Yep.
And there's different things, like in Las Vegas, we get new customers every week. At the ranch, the customer between certain days of the week is different. And Mikey, it's so seasonal by you. I mean, Mikey, if you just actually set year-round rates, in January for the entire year, is that dynamic?
Yeah, not at all. No, not at all. Obviously, it changes each and every day. Today's forecast was actually dookie, so we actually had to go a little lower than even our players card rate, throw a little special out there. People scooped it up. Sold 28 tee times between 10:30 and 1. 28 reservations at $50 each. So, no, that's what you got to do. And you'll have a good idea, especially, too, now people's buying habits are within, 48 hours. So it's even easier now to yield or dynamically price than ever.
Right. And I didn't believe it when you guys told me about this at first, but like it happens at the ranch now, too. There is not one person that is paying the same rate as anybody else when it comes to booking things online and last minute and stuff like that. And I think it's what courses and people are scared of, because they're scared of me standing next to you two, hearing what you paid and saying, well, why is mine $10 more? And you know what we tell our team, if someone makes a stink or someone brings that up, just match it. Whatever.
Take care of them. Sell them a ranch card so you get the guaranteed
exactly.
grocery. It's an opportunity. It's not a complaint.
For sure.
Yeah. And so that's going to take us into the next word. And this one actually makes me kind of vomit, because I love in the industry when all these roundtables and, the National Golf Foundation and Golf Course Owners Association, and it's rate integrity. You need to have rate integrity. I'd like everybody to go after the episode, or they could do it while they're listening, just Google the word integrity, right? I'm not so sure that applies to golf prices or rates.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honesty. What does honesty have to do with anything, right? You're going to price it, and if the customer believes that your product is worth it, they'll pay for it, right?
Yeah.
And if they don't, they won't.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
No.
So I don't know how you can really, like, where integrity really comes into this.
Yeah, I think that you're right. It's a misunderstood. What do you think, Mikey?
Well, I'm not sure how rate integrity correlates with dynamic pricing or yield management. So I don't think those two go together. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and I think
Right?
that
You either
people
leave it in at a certain price, let it rot, or you actually dynamically price it and actually dynamically price it and move it and actually gain some customers. But either they don't really go hand in hand.
Yeah, and it's a great point because I think that every time we talk about, dynamic pricing and yielding and our promotional based pricing and all the stuff that we do or whatever it is, that is the argument. It's,
right.
Well, no, like that's against the golf. It's against our code of conduct. It's rate integrity is a thing. Who am I to just give away my golf? Then what does it mean if I'm just giving it away? Well, no one's buying it.
Yeah.
So if you don't just give it away or you don't discount it or you don't find out what it's actually worth, then it's worthless.
Totally worthless. We've said it on numerous episodes. The killer of any property, I think of any business, any owner or any manager that prices their product, their round of golf or whatever it might be, based on what they think is going to lose. Right? I don't price any of our properties based on what I think. My opinion is completely useless. Right? What does the consumer say? What is the consumer most able and willing to pay? It's really that simple. So, you know what? We can say that it costs this much to go ahead and maintain the golf course and all that stuff too. Well, maybe you're spending too much in maintenance for a product that a customer is willing to pay only so much for.
Yeah.
That's business, right? And that's where I think a lack of business acumen is really the problem here, because throwing out rate integrity, we get people that make comments, and when we go into industry, like Mikey just said, right? So the weather's not so good, right? Is it integrity by sitting there and letting all that inventory go to waste, right? Your outside service guy can't hustle a tip. Your beverage cart girl can't hustle a tip. The people in the golf shop don't get any chance to go ahead and actually upgrade them into one of our players card program. Your owner goes ahead and has to go ahead and fund losses, or it can't reinvest it into the golf course. Is that integrity?
Right. No, and I think something that we never really touch on in this show, but it's something that's super relevant, especially on this topic, is this isn't just for golf. This is for anything. This is if you have a clothing line and you're trying to get it up off the ground, and you can get a batch price to get a shirt printed at 20, and you're worried it could be cheaper if you did more or whatever it is, but you just want to get it off the ground. Just make bare minimum. Make your money back. Who cares? But if you get it out there and you get people buzzing about it, then you can order more confidently. Then you can price it differently. Just call it a limited run. Call it an introductory offer. It doesn't matter what it is, but I think people are they're so scared to give something away for a good rate or to find out what people are willing to pay. They think that customer is going to come in next week and say, I'm never paying more than that. I paid it once. That's what it is forever. And that's just not how it works. People get it, especially when you deliver on your promises.
Exactly.
The shirt's nice quality, or the haircut you gave somebody was great, or the golf course and the experience and your staff were awesome, and you prove to them and you build a loyal customer base, and they're willing to pay way more than they were at first.
It's an introductory offer, right? Mikey, I mean, you do this as good as anybody.
That's right. Yeah. So that was a great point. I think their biggest manager's biggest setback on wanting to mess with the rate to promotionally base it and get people in is that they might accustom people to paying that lower rate. When the reality is that you're going to either improve the experience, wow them with your experience, improve the property, and that customer then will either pay more, or then you reload them with somebody that will. So it goes hand in hand. The last part too is that there's nothing more perishable than anything than a tee time, because once it's gone, she gone, and you can't, no matter how many you sell, make up for it. So you better just go ahead and do your best to maximize your tee sheet every day, because when it's over, it's over.
Absolutely. And I was in an Apple store recently, right? And I was sitting there, and there was a guy talking to his wife, and he was griping about how expensive the iPhone was, whatever. I don't even know what model it is. I'm a Samsung guy. But anyway, my daughter's not, unfortunately, right? And now the phones are near $2,000 all in, right? And I just wanted to look to the guy and just say, hey, you know why that phone is $2,000? Do you know why they sell it for that? Because they can.
Yeah.
Did you see the line outside the door? So if you don't want it, if you just want to scooch to the left, sir, the next person is going to buy the phone. And I actually admire that, right?
Yeah.
Apple built a product and built a brand where they can charge whatever it is. You know, as a matter of fact, they could put $3,000 on that phone. The line might be a little bit shorter to buy it, but they'll sell out quickly.
Yeah.
That's the reality of it. So I think we can sum it up by this as a company, right? When it comes to rate integrity, right? That every other golf course, they can keep their rate integrity and we'll take your customers.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Is that fair enough?
Yeah. No, it sounds brutal, but it's the truth.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know?
You know what? You have a lot of inventory, right? So, hey, like Drew said, like Mikey said, get them in there on an introductory offer, treat them great. And you know what? If they can only pay a certain rate, find a time that they can go ahead and pre-pie it and that you have a hard time filling, right?
Yeah, for sure. And I think this is all really good, and it ties in directly to the next part of this episode, right? What we're calling the dumbest policies, you know, the things that exist. And this is the famous one. They exist, Mikey, because it's how it's always been. Yeah. Like the first one that comes to mind, right, is a rain check, right? Mikey, what are your thoughts on giving people rain checks? Are you for it or are you against it?
Well, we call them certificate credits, not rain checks, and you get them for no reason. So, you know, if you make a double bogey, you're just like, you know what, I'd rather go watch the Miami Dolphins. Come on in. You'll get a rain check.
No doubt.
Yeah.
I love the one where, especially they're in volatile markets when it comes to the weather, like Florida and all that. Yeah. They have a big sign like this at the counter, right? Or if they're over the phone, they said, "Well, our rain check policy is if you start the round, no matter what happens, we're not giving you a rain check." That is the most idiotic, stupid policy I've ever heard.
That
because
is dumb.
I've seen. We took over a golf course years ago. We still have it, and they kept saying this, and I thought, you know, the last 10 people, instead of giving us money, at least having a chance to go ahead and enjoy their day,
they just didn't come. Yeah.
I said, so, like, why would anybody do that, right? Who cares? Treat them nice, take the money, have a great time, and if it rains, if it gets windy, or hey, the guy's got diarrhea. I don't know. You know, who cares? If the guy wants to quit his round, give him a rain check. Give him a certificate of credit. I don't know why people are so vicious on that. What's the difference?
Yeah, no, and I think it goes back to what we just talked about too. It's they're scared. They're scared of one thing or another, and it's another. You know, they feel like they're being slighted. They're feeling like, well, you paid me, you played some, and I'm giving you all your money back. Well, we do it in a smart way. It's you know, a per hole amount or whatever it is, and it's more than fair for the customer, and it's something that's done by us in good faith because we're not scared to let someone come in, either voice displeasure, say, hey, I got to go to work, or hey, my buddy just took all my money and I'm broke and I'm tired of gambling. I just smashed a window on hole number 2. I got to leave. Whatever the excuse is, it's like Mikey said, no reason, but the person's going to leave one way or the other. They're going to leave mad without their money or their credit, and they're never going to come back. Or they're going to say, hey, you know, last time I went to Dobson, it rained. It's supposed to rain today, but it looks clear. Let's just give it a shot because I know they'll take care of me if it does.
Exactly. And, you know, the best part is this. So I always try to think when we create a policy, like what would I think, right? Just when you're standing in line or, you know, people on the other end of it, right? So let's just say you're in Maui. You're about to have a good time. And even if the guy doesn't want a rain check because he's not coming back ever, right? So here it is, right? And they jam it down your throat, right? Well, if you start today and it does rain, you're not getting a rain check, much less any of your portion of your money back, right? So the guy leaves, right? So we know that's a total loser, right? The course got 0, right? Yep. Plus the guy hates our guts now, right? Yep. The guy wanted to play, right? And I don't think it's any of our faults, even in situations like that, if it rains, right? That's out of our control, right?
Yeah.
So I just thinking about it. So let's just say the guy gets rental clubs, spends $150, right? He goes, and let's say on the 8th hole, it starts to rain. The guy comes in, and you give him $75 back because he's never coming back to Maui. So was it better to take the $75 profit, right? If there's 4 of them, it's $300. You got 4 guys that think you're amazing, and if and when they come back to Maui, or if anybody's going to Maui, they know will refer you, right? Yep. So $300 plus gain. You made 4 people happy, and I'd say that's a win. Or they all leave thinking you're dicks, and you got 0.
Yeah.
I don't know, kind of math.
I'm on board with taking the wax, actually giving a rain check for any or no reason, and let's let it rip and have some fun, 100%.
Yeah, this is the next one too. This one makes total sense right here, is that regardless of when the sun goes down, carts have to be in at a certain time.
Yeah. No,
Who created that policy?
someone that wanted to get out early, man. He had to get home for dinner or something.
Man, I gotta share with you, dude. This is exactly what not to do. I paid for golf over in the West Coast, and my boys and I were having a ball, dude. It was just getting to be the perfect time. Our match was all square with 3 to go, and I had this dick come up and actually say, "Hey guys, we need the carts in." Started pulling flags. And the round of golf was 99 bones. So $99 actually. We got a death match, and we're hitting it to greens actually, with no flag sticks on them, just trying to smash it in as fast as we could.
Yeah.
And there was still an hour left of daylight. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Couldn't believe it.
I'm surprised they didn't call the police on you. You know what I mean? To clear the golf course.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
I think that Drew hit it on the head too about why they do it. I think they're probably in a bowling league. The guy has to get out of there, right? Because he has to get there, lace up the shoes, throw a few warm up balls. You know what I mean? It's like, geez.
Well, and it's probably the same thing. They're like, well, you paid to play late, so that's your fault, and we already have your money, so that's your fault. And like, oh, it's the sun going down. It's out of our control, but the sun's not really going down. You know, I'm surprised that, the really nice golf courses that have the GPS and like the TV screen, right, where you could order stuff. It tells you, it even automatically stops your cart. I'm surprised they don't have autopilot yet for courses for these guys to just flip a switch and it just like rides a track back into the cart barn for you.
That is
Whether
funny.
you're in it or not, man, your cart's gone.
Yeah, no doubt. Man, what happened to my cart? Hey, you know what, Drew? That's an idea. The PGA show is coming up, and we are going to have a great episode. We're going to look at all the new technology. Drew, you might be onto something.
Dude, there it is. If you want your golf course to fail and people to be angry, I got the best tech for you.
No doubt. And some of these golf course managers, they might take it one step further. Maybe it's like an expanded version of that.
Yeah.
Where maybe they can just hit a button and just explode the golf cart with you in it. You know what I mean? For breaking a policy.
Yeah, or they wait for you to sit back in it. It senses that you're in. Now it's too late. Boom, it shuts. So you can't get out, and it brings you back captive.
Yeah, there we go. Hey, that's not a bad idea.
Oh, man.
Yeah, well, so it's policies like that. It wrecks your brand. It wrecks everything about it. It just does not make any sense. And I love these too. When you ask somebody, here's a person that's worked their whole life. They got their dream job. They're the director of golf, whatever, blah, 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 right? And you ask them, hey, just curious, seems like the consumer hates it. It costs you a lot of money. It costs tips for your team and everything, costs food and beverage, but why do you do it? And they said, well, I don't know. That's just the way it's always been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's not the way to do it. That's not the way you should really do anything. Not that everything that exists is bad, but like, look at it.
No doubt.
Like, think.
Here's the best one, though. It's even better than that one. This is the funniest one, right? They say, well, that's what the golf course down the street does, too. You mean the one in bankruptcy?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, let's mimic that one. Yeah, that's great. I love that. That goes back to pricing, too. I love when they actually price it based on the one down the street that's a complete dog with fleas.
Yeah.
Why don't you actually look at the ones that are winning?
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, so it's hilarious. So what about the next one? Collared shirts and no denim. The no denim police.
Yeah, no, I embrace the denim. I like the denim. I like the, sometimes I even like the cut sleeves or the visors or whatever it is, right? Because those guys are there for fun.
Exactly.
They're not going to be a problem for pace. Even if they've never actually played golf, I can let them know, hey, stay with those people. I'll get you a beer later. And they've never been more happy.
Mikey, how strict are you enforcing it out at the 3 Florida properties? Do you have somebody out by the front door actually looking them up and down and telling them whether they can play or not?
Hey, my most expensive pants are actually my jeans, so you don't get to wear them often here in Florida. So every chance I get to rock the denim, man, I'm rocking the denim for sure.
I do notice some of your videos. Yeah, you are a little hipster.
Let it rip.
Yeah. I'm surprised that they don't have a policy out there where
not so much hipster, dude. They are skinny jeans, bro. They're actually legit nice jeans.
Well, I'm not saying they don't cost a lot.
Athletic shorts, they're my expensive.
Yeah. Well, I'm surprised that Mikey even
shorts are the most expensive pair of shorts I own.
Yeah, no, I'm surprised that you let people even play with shoes. I figured out at PBN it'd be like sandals or no shoes only, you know?
Let it rip.
Yeah,
you got some shoeless dudes out there.
Oh, yeah.
No shirt, no shoes, no problem, right?
Yeah.
Well, what Mikey touched on is a good point, which is kind of funny. That a guy walks in with a brand new pair of jeans, right? Mm-hmm. The jeans are $200. They're very nice, right?
Yeah.
That dude, you got to go. You know what I mean? But a guy walks in with a wrinkled old pair of cotton golf shorts that are way too short and actually very difficult to look at. Hey, fits within the policy. You have a great day, sir.
Right. yeah. Oh man.
Gosh, that's funny.
No
man.
doubt.
Yeah. So I think that as a whole, people got to lighten up.
Stupid.
Yeah, and I feel bad too. I've had people come out. I'll never forget. This guy came out. I watched him in the parking lot throw over his T-shirt, threw a collared shirt on, and then he tucked it into his sweatpants.
Yeah.
Because the place down the road, they don't care about your pants, but you have to have a collar to use their driving range.
Oh, that's
I said,
great.
look, Bill, you can wear, just be decent. Wear a shirt.
Yeah.
Wear pants. You're just going to the driving range. Have a blast.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Oh, funny. The next one, no fivesomes, right? And I understand that this is a little bit of a choice, right? If you're packed, this group's historically slow. They want to play five. I think this one's just a judgment call.
For sure.
But the greatest is, like, when you have a golf course, it's a little higher end and, your business model's not doing 1 million rounds, and you get 5 people. Let's say it's IBM. They're going to pay $250 a player in rental clubs, but it's really important they play together. And there's nobody else on the day, or it's not busy, and people say no.
Yeah.
But why? They're not going to hold anybody up. What's the big deal? Yeah.
I'm guessing, Mikey, you'd hop in with them,
On
huh?
the flip side of that, too, when you're jamming people out every 8 minutes, having a ball, and it's moving fairly good, but it's a full day, and it's 11 o'clock, and you think the 4 is not going to have as good of a chance hanging with the 5, with the foursome, with the 40 foursomes ahead of them. That's the other judgment call, too. Maybe not at like 8 a.m., but at 11, let it rip, right?
Yeah. No problem at all. Once the course is full, your pace is kind of set. There's really nowhere for anyone to go, and that's our golden rule. It's not about how fast you play. It's not about what you do. It's all about staying with the group in front of you, not the one behind you.
Exactly. And it's not how many people in the group. It's keeping up with the one in front of you. So, I think that's just something that people have to use their best judgment.
Yeah.
I don't know why they have these set in stone rules. You know what I mean? It doesn't make much sense to me.
I think all of it comes from the same thing. It's the common theme. It's just comfort, right?
Yeah.
It's if I don't allow fivesomes ever, I'll never have a headache. I'll never get a complaint about it because they won't exist. But you'll probably drive a lot of good business away. Who knows? I mean, we have some of the most loyal customers that play the fastest that come out and play in fives, and they're still playing for money. They're drinking. That's just an extra body for a green fee for a beer and another person to talk about how cool you guys are.
Absolutely. Separates you from your competition. And, there's a way to handle it, too. When the fivesome rolls off and the 4 grumpy dudes are already bitching at the first tee, have your starter. Have your manager on duty radio the starter and just say, hey, this group plays here all the time. We're going to make sure they keep up with the group in front of them. And if they don't, we're going to take care of it. You just relax and have a wonderful day.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that hard. Right. Like I said, this business, I think everybody that ever watches or listens to this show, I think the theme they're probably understanding is that this is not brain surgery, what we're doing, right? No, actually, we only got one college graduate and Drew over here. Mikey, barely high school, me barely high school. So
and my degree was a layup too. Remember, all my classmates were like on the basketball team, and they were all the athletes, and they couldn't be bothered with schoolwork, albeit because they were busy. They had a full-time job, but that just goes to show how tough my curriculum was.
It was San Diego State. So the next one, no walking. And just for the record, I'm not suggesting that you have to give a discount for walking, right? But we've had it at a lot of clubs, even the high-end ones. There are people now that want to walk, right? They don't ask for a discount, and they promise they keep up with the group in front of them. And people say just because it's their policy, the answer is no.
Yeah.
But you just wrecked 4 people's day that just want to go out and get a little exercise, and you're going to force them into a cart that costs you money and piss these people off. Just let them walk.
Yeah. It's not that hard. Mikey, what do you think? I think that there's a big misconception there, right, with walkers. Everyone thinks they're slow, but...
100%. We promote walking here at the Nash. In fact, we've got 10 state-of-the-art Pimp Daddy push carts that people are loving on. And I walked myself the other day. I had a ball. It was actually one of the most enjoyable rounds of golf I've ever had. This golf course especially accommodates it. Some you may have a bigger challenge with, but, so judgment call on that, but walking's the new thing, man, for sure.
Yeah, I was up in Northern California, a very high end property. We had some courses up there we managed. I just went over to take a look around. Beautiful property for the record. And a guy came in and he was staying at the lodge there, and he came up and he said, hey, my clients just like to walk. And you know what? He said he'd even buy carts. He did not ask for a discount.
Yeah.
He did not ask for anything like that. He even offered to pay a premium. He said it's important to them I think one of them got done with heart surgery a while back, and they just wanted to walk. And this guy absolutely protected it like it was his child with a policy of no. I was like, dude, what difference does it make? Have a great day, right?
Man. Yeah. Well, and what you said too, I was going to say that's what I hear the most, at a course like Dobson, and I'm sure, Mikey, you hear it a lot at PBN. How many guys, groups of 4 guys have come out and they're excited to enjoy their time, and they're like, dude, I got to walk. It's the only way the old lady lets me get out of the house. It's their bargaining chip. They got to walk.
Yeah, exactly. It's all right to get a little exercise. Mikey, I know that this topic today was for you because you were probably the most unconventional and kind of brilliant in a bizarre way golf course manager on earth. So why don't you light us up, go on the Mikey D rant on some of the other things, dumb policies that irritate you.
So club we currently help and have helped and now is completely thriving. They're crushing it. And it's in a super fun market I visited for the first time. Met with the owner, and it was so funny. I pull in. So first thing I see smacks me in the face is no parking. Okay, so I drive around, I park. I get out of the car, I walk up, the bag drop says no coolers, no smoking, no carts, no chipping, not responsible for lost and stolen items, no clubs. I get to the counter, it says no rain checks. I'm like, oh my goodness gracious. Wow, all right, cool. But we got about 42 signs to actually eliminate and throw in the dumpster. I mean, I understand, if you're not responsible, you're not responsible, but don't smack the guy in the face with it on the front door as he's walking in, you know? So that was actually pretty fun.
What happened when you
the no chipping
putting
sign? That just irritates me. I don't know if that's just a superintendent thing or not, but the whole no chipping thing is just so dumb. Right on your beautiful putting green, you have a no chipping sign smacking people in the face.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean if a guy's over there trying to whacking big divots and lob shots on you green, just have your outside service guy go over and said, hey, pal, lighten up, you know what I mean? Go over to this green over here, you know what I mean? Yeah. But if a guy that just paid $150 wants to just bunt a few pitches onto the green, who cares, right? You know what I mean? It's not going to hurt the green. Yeah. I mean, it's just using common sense.
Right.
Yeah. So, Drew, any other ones for you? I know that we could go on and on, but I want to finish the episode after we take a break. We're going to have some fun. It's going to be cool.
Yeah. No, to go along with the no chipping too, right? It's for all those places that have grass driving ranges. It's, no hitting behind the line. Now, I'm not saying that everyone should go hit behind the line, but it's just being aware, right?
Yeah.
If you're a busy driving range, or even if you're not, depending on how often you reset it, somebody has to actually pay attention.
Exactly.
It's one thing to walk up to a guy without actually looking, seeing him hitting behind the line and just start yelling at him. Well, and then you look in the bay, or the guy points, he says, well, there's no grass anywhere. And then you're left holding the bag kind of looking like a jerk, Yeah. So, just be smart. Just kind of look at what's going on. And if the guy has a point, then just say, hey, you know what? Next time, just let me know. If there's no grass, we'll come reset it, or here, use this stall. This stall's all good. And if there is grass, you don't have to go up and throw it in his face. No hitting behind the line. You're costing us money, blah, blah, blah. Just say, hey, look, I get it. I know that, there's some things, but there's some nice grass there. If you could just hit in front of the line for me, it helps set a great example, and you can handle it way more civil.
Absolutely.
And same thing, you think a sign is going to help with that, like a no driver or no hit behind the line, I never read those.
Yeah,
I didn't even know the signs existed when I used to go to the driving range.
Just so you know that we're equal opportunity ball busters, what he's referring to is one of our properties. We just did that, right? Yeah. And I actually noticed, I was there on Sunday night at Dobson. It's probably the busiest range. And we've had a couple managers go out there and get a little grumpy with people hitting behind the line. And I witnessed it, and I was like, come here once. I said, why don't you just move the stake back? Because there is no grass.
Yeah. And we have to reset it not once a day, but almost twice a day we have to reset it. We have to shift the boards over so people can hit where everybody was standing. Then about dusk, we have lights, so we stay on till about 9 this time of year before it gets too chilly. We have to move it back a quarter a stall, and then they move it back another quarter stall at the end of the night for the next day.
Yeah. And you have to do it because think about what if you went there, right? Let's just say you went and paid $15 for a large bucket of balls, and you're excited. You're going to get out and get a little fresh air, and you walk up, and you're going to hit it off like there's no grass.
Yeah.
Right? So I would actually hit behind the line, right? Yeah. I'm not trying to be rude, but I just want to hit with some grass. I don't think it's too hard. You brought up another one that's funny too, is that on driving ranges that are a little shorter, it says no drivers, right? I understand that you have to protect what's behind it.
Yep.
But let's just say, this is once again what happened at our property too, for the record, is that if the ball can only go 250 yards, I would say 95% of our customers
can't
hit it 250 yards. So for the 5% of people that can't hit it, that are going to hit it too far, that can't hit drivers, we're going to make the policy that nobody can. How about just say that please keep it hit whatever club under 235 yards just to be safe, right?
Yeah.
So all the 95% people that can hit a driver and they hit it 210 still have a great time, right? Yeah, I don't know. Just kind of makes sense.
To that point, though, I have to say it was really funny. We were, at Dobson when we closed for overseeding. We just moved the range way up. They're hitting off probably not the best grass, but it gives them something to do. Everywhere else is closed. We want people to get out, but we have to do the same thing. We say, hey, keep it under X amount of yards. And I had a guy out there just cranking driver, and the range is only about 180, 190 to the back at this point. And there's a junior in the stall next to him that's hitting driver. So when I said, hey, man, look, my superintendent just called. You broke his windshield. Can you kind of like keep it to a 9-iron or less? You're like a big dude. He goes, what about him? And he points at the kid that's hitting driver, and he's like, well, he's hitting driver, stop him.
Yeah, that guy actually, I'm glad he doesn't work for our company. Yeah, that guy, his reasoning might be a little off. You just broke a window. This guy, the kid can't hit it 60 yards. So, No, that's funny. So we're going to take a little break. We're going to go ahead and show Mikey's latest videos where he's been actually taking up a new trick shot. He's actually, Mikey, what's it called? Swing batter, or whatever?
Swing better, swing better.
Cool. Some really cool stuff with Mikey. We're going to show Drew at the Ranch's new episode, Don't Be Like Chris #2. Because we're going to come back. We're just going to have a short session here. We're going to take some corporate geek buzzwords, and we're going to go ahead and translate it to the P2B language. So stay tuned. We'll see you in a few minutes.
I've got the TaylorMade 3-wood out there, Mikey D.
The Rory Spec TaylorMade 3-wood, and I've got the Swing Bada Swing Smash It MG for long drive here on 17. You ready?
Let's go.
All right, let's get it on. First up, Scotty Stoll here with his 3 metal on this 385-yard par 4, number 17. Smashed one down the left center side. That thing's got serious carry. Carries the corner to the middle of the fairway. Smeared it. Just gonna take everything I got here. Eye on the ball. Let's go.
Oh, baby. This is, let's see what we got.
Go.
Let's see what we got. Oh, this is gonna be close.
Let's check it out. Here we go.
No way.
Here it is, folks. Judgment Day. Scotty's Pinnacle. Right here. 3 metal. Look at this. You can't make this stuff up. Right?
Look, the latest study shows that you only get to be mad for however good you are, and trust me, buddy, you ain't that good, so you don't get to get that mad. When you're out here practicing at the range, why don't you just chill out, have a cold beer, enjoy the weather, because it is another beautiful day. All right?
No White Claw.
There you have it, everybody. For this week's tip for hacks, laughs, and playing fast, it's a simple one. Just lighten up and have a great time here at the ranch. We've got cold beers, sunshine, great weather coming up. So make sure, as much as we wish we were playing on tour, none of us actually are. Don't be like Chris and get frustrated. Just remember to keep smiling and have a great day.
Welcome back, everyone. Hopefully you enjoyed those amazing videos by Mikey D and Drew. So we're going to finish up the show. We're going to take some of the geekiest buzzwords in corporate America, and Drew over here is going to go ahead and translate the question in P2B language, and Mikey's going to answer it in P2B language. So I got to shake it up here. I got to go in corporate stiff mode here. Hold on. Okay.
Yep.
You guys get real. You guys don't have to get serious. I'm going to get serious. Welcome, Andrew, and welcome, Michael. Thank you for joining me today. As two stakeholders, we're going to go ahead and ask a few questions. So vertical integration, you guys are a company that is very innovative. So, vertical integration is adding strategy to existing strategies to go ahead and gain an edge. So, Drew, can you go ahead and translate that for Mikey?
Hey, Mikey, I think this guy's onto us. He saw 3 o'clock's kind of tough to fill, man. What are we going to do to fix that?
Oh, Drew Dog, man. We got to create a range sunset program, man. A killer deal people want to come out and take advantage of to fill this poop box up, bro. We got to sling some G. So make sure your guy at the counter's got his smashers on, dude, and slinging some.
There it is, what he said.
Dude, that is brilliant right there. That's right out of the Harvard Business Review. All right, back to corporate mode. All right, the next word is, Drew, could you please share with Mikey and translate it? The word is organic growth. You know, in today's world, you know, there's a lot of variables. So I'd like to know how the Paradigm Golf Group uses organic growth to gain an edge.
All right, so Mikey, they're kind of low on the marketing budget, so we got to kind of get creative here. How can we get the team to kind of make more money?
Oh, bro, we got to go full smashers on stacks, bro, by motivating the team with commissions and incentives to sling some products and players cards. We got to create innovative ideas that are different with rum shots, popsicles, create a fun and cool atmosphere people want to be a part of, and make sure that we're actually having top dog programs so people are incentivized to actually be the top dog at the end of the month, and make sure everybody's happy slinging golf and having fun, man. That's it.
Cool.
There it is.
All right, last word. This is a word that I know Mikey excels at, but Andrew Frazier, the word is onboarding. How does the Paradigm Golf Group take a young individual and actually onboard them to your policies, procedures?
Hey, Mikey, so like when Irv calls out and he can't start for you, but you got the new guy in the bag station, how are you going to teach him how to be the starter?
Oh, bro, well, I only evaluate people on the size of their smile. So as long as they got a big smile, man, I tell them to use it a lot. Here's a clipboard. Here's a pencil. Just be cool, man, and get them rolling every 6 to 8 minutes.
There it is. Doesn't get more efficient than that.
No doubt. Actually, we're going to end the show here
in
in
the
a minute.
golf shop, too, man, it's saying we're going to have some fun, man. So most importantly, make sure you enjoy what you're doing because that's the most important. Turn the music up and let's shake it up and have a great time today. And by the end of the day, let's make sure we're high-fiving each other, having a blast.
There it is. And Cheers. That is a little bit of a disclaimer for everybody out there. We do actually have an instruction manual, a training manual, not necessarily policy-driven.
Yeah.
We're all about building the culture first because the policies are the easy part. If you couldn't tell, we really don't have any anyways. It's called the Paradigm Playbook. It's been around for about 20 years, and it's a huge key for all of our success.
Absolutely. So I'm going out of corporate stiffy mode, going back in it. And, when it comes to vertical integration, onboarding, organic growth, it doesn't mean like we don't believe in what those words mean. We actually do them, I think, very well, but just the words themselves. And I would like to challenge anybody like in the golf business to actually try to understand and even describe what those mean. Yeah. That's just the funny part. I just think that it's so hilarious when people try to use these big buzzwords and they don't really know what they mean. And if they're doing it to score a date, dude, I'm in. You know what I mean? It's cool, good for you. If you're doing it just to sound smart, to feel good about yourself, let it rip, bro. But I think the problem is when you start to believe you're smart because you just said the word.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that really is it. You know what I mean? And just for the record, Mikey is a brilliant onboarder when it comes to attitude and vision. But when it comes to actually training anything, he is not allowed.
Yeah.
Because back in the day at Cimarron, one of the properties we owned a bunch of years ago, Mikey came and he was a little frustrated because somebody wasn't ringing things in right? And I said, well, who trained him? And he goes, well, I did. And I said, you don't think that's part of the problem? Mikey's answering phones in between. He's like, yeah, bro, just hit that button. Yeah, don't worry about that. What about that? Nah, that screen doesn't matter. Yeah, just hit that one. It's cool, bro. No problem. Yeah, just sling that. Hold on. Hey, there's a chick. Hold on. You know what I mean? There's the training process. There's the onboarding of Mikey. Man. But Drew, you're exceptionally good at it. And you're going to be taking the lead with formalizing a lot of our stuff for the future and all of our properties. So I think you'll do brilliantly at it.
Yeah, for sure. And the Paradigm Playbook's been so effective because it was always kind of forward thinking in golf and things are always growing and changing. And I hope that all of our competitors pick up and start to learn and grow and be successful too. And it just gives me more of a chance to try and stay ahead of all that and kind of refine what we've already got.
Yeah. And, we design all our policies and procedures, which, like I said, you don't really have. We have processes and we have programs. And we really build it. Our motto is happy customers plus a motivated team equals profitable growth. And the profitable growth is not just financial, although we do accomplish some amazing results, ones that people in the industry would not even believe. But we've had amazing success in that area. But it's growth with your team, right? I think that so many people today get really bummed out because they don't get a chance to learn anything. They don't get to part being something. So Drew, you're going to be a big part of that to really kind of streamlining and building, streamlining right there.
Yeah,
That's
there it
another
is.
buzzword.
Streamline
That was cool. I do it myself. So anyway, but you're going to go ahead and build this program out, and we're going to continue to do it. We got the new Paradigm website coming out. It's going to be super cool. Brand Link's building it for us. Awesome company. But anyway, Mikey, any final words?
Shoot the gap, babe. Shoot it up.
All right, shoot the gap.
There
Drew?
it is. When it comes to policies, keep it policies. Keep it simple, stupid.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for tuning in. Happy holidays, and we'll see you next year.
From the T to the green, and the P to the B. Skip the plumb bob, drop the plumb bob, lose the plumb bob. Who needs a plumb bob? From the T to the green, and the P to the B.